Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ksenia Savina. I'm the first year student of International Relations at Petrozavodsk State University. Today, I want to tell you about diplomatic etiquette because this is an integral aspect of my future professional activity. My presentation includes introduction, definition and origins, importance of diplomatic etiquette, basic principles, diplomatic protocol, etiquette violation examples, summary, conclusion, and references. Certainly, diplomatic etiquette is one of the main components of diplomatic relations, and it is important to understand its essence and significance. So, the aim of my presentation is to explain what diplomatic etiquette is and why it is important. To begin with, let's see what diplomatic etiquette actually is. The definition is the following. Diplomatic etiquette is the complex of rules observed by participants of foreign policy communication. But how did this concept come about? Now, let's look at the diplomatic etiquette origins. This phenomenon emerged from the olden days of developing relations between states. Etiquette, as diplomatic aspect, is associated with ceremonies used at royal courts. It helped to strengthen the authority and power of the rulers. It has always been extremely important to be able to welcome foreign ambassadors and to make a good impression on them. The development of diplomatic etiquette is directly associated with court etiquette. Originally, it was based on the rules prevailing at the royal court. What is important is the role of diplomatic etiquette in international relations. The appropriate conditions for relations between states, governments, and their representatives to develop in a friendly, peaceful environment and in an atmosphere of mutual respect are created by diplomatic etiquette. Having undergone many changes, diplomatic etiquette is now based on the following fundamental principles. The principle of courtesy. These are generally accepted rules of etiquette and respect in international practice. The principle of reciprocity, that is, relations established on a mutually beneficial equal basis. The principle of precedence, it means that attention is paid to the diplomatic rank of the representative rather than to the significance of the country represented. And finally, the principle of observing the rules of the host country. The principles and rules of diplomatic etiquette are established in the diplomatic protocol. A violation of the rules can lead to expressing a note of protest from another state and to the deterioration of diplomatic relations. Let me give you some diplomatic etiquette violation examples. During a visit to Canberra in 1992, Bush Sr. greeted Australian farmers with a V sign. After a while, the angry crowd responded in kind. The gesture might mean victory in America, but in Australia, this sign is an insult and humiliation. Another example, the Queen of England is literally untouchable in many situations. Formal protocol for meeting the Queen dictates that you shouldn't touch her beyond a polite handshake. So, when the First Lady, Michelle Obama, broke this rule by throwing an arm around Her Majesty, the British media was understandably shocked. It was a breach of one of the classic rules of conduct. Fortunately, the Queen herself took it in stride. It wasn't the first time she had to suffer such conduct. In summary, diplomatic etiquette is an important part of diplomacy in general, with its own history, features, and rules. In conclusion, I'd like to stress the importance of diplomatic etiquette and the severity of its consequences that its violation may entail. So, My message is that we should be polite and respectful to all nations and states, and should observe the rules of etiquette not only in diplomacy but in all spheres. Thank you for your attention.